Hello, Mirjana. Thank you so much for joining us for this Color Vision interview. How are you doing?
Hi, Lucas. It's a pleasure to speak with you on this beautiful morning. Regards from London. I am very well. We have probably 26 or something Celsius today. So nothing to complain about. Yes, we are indoors, but we can also be outdoors a little bit. So all good.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
How about you?
Great to have you here. I'm very good too. Happy to have you here and to chat with you. So to begin, what color could define your mood in this moment?
Blue. Blue sky with a little bit of green as well because of the trees. I'm just looking throughout my window and I can see these beautiful colors. So that's my mood. Oh, look at that.
You can try to fit that specific color. And like regarding this color, what memory would this color trigger for you?
Sea, endless space, open, swimming. I'm a big swimmer, so that's, you know, oceans and seas are my passion. So yeah. Freedom,
basically.
Exactly. Ask me why am I entrepreneur?
That's awesome. Well, you just said you're an entrepreneur. Well, what is your passion in life?
Where do I start? I have, let's say the first one is to create something from scratch, experimenting, play with things, putting things together, making something out of nothing, people, putting different heads together to create something even better, community, having people together and creating that amazing experience that one on its own cannot do.
Sure.
So yeah, these would be my immediate passions. And as I said earlier, swimming is something that I now suffer from not having because of the lockdown, but I'm looking forward to that once everything is open.
Go back to it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And regarding your field of expertise, what do you actually do in life?
So right now, I moved from a corporate world officially a year and a half ago, but I've been working on my project hangAIR for the last 3 years, and it all came from my personal suffering, being a global chief marketing officer. In the past, my previous life, I've been traveling all over the world, being sleep deprived, being in total body spasm because of endless sitting, either in the office or in the transportation to the airport or in the airlines or aircraft, sorry.
Yeah.
And that actually created the pains that I was going through, and you know, jet lag was also messing up with my circadian rhythm and my body. So all of this collectively created something that we are very familiar with now, burnout. So I experienced depression. I experienced big low in my life, and being very positive person and not really knowing what it means being depressed, even though I had lots of friends who are suffering from depression. It was hard to relate if when I didn't experience that. So when I hit the floor or hit the wall badly, then that was the moment to do something about it. So I started looking for different solutions. What can I do to help myself? Then I realized there are many people out there who suffer from the same problem. And idea came just, you know, when you least expect, from just a picture in Copenhagen Museum. I was looking at it and I just couldn't believe it. I said, I would love to translate that into something that is nowadays related to nowadays life.
Yeah.
And because there are many different products out there that I could try, but they were all for individual parts of my problem. Nothing like holistically seeing a human body and mind together. And that's how hangAIR was born.
Came to be.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We're eager to see what comes from you in that regard.
Yeah, well, very soon. So bear with.
Absolutely. And regarding the current very particular situation we're all going through, how are you personally navigating the pandemic?
um, well, from different elements or aspects of life, it's not too bad for myself. For me personally, when I think about a way of living, for example, being entrepreneur, in the past year and a half, I was working from home already. So there was no need to adjust that new way of working. So I kind of got through that easier than probably many other people. So I was okay to adjust. In terms of technology out there help us to connect still. Doesn't matter where we are. And I find that this lockdown actually brought people even more together. I could reach and get to talk to some people that before I probably couldn't, or it would be harder to get to. Now it's much easier, at least for me. I don't know about others. Again, I'm talking from my own experience. In terms of we are raising funds now, and everyone said, we are in lockdown and you're raising funds, how that is going to work. And tell you what, it actually works very well. So we managed to raise a nice amount, and some new investors are coming in. So I would say that doesn't really matter in terms of what's happening around you. It's all about what you do, and is that the right thing or not, and if you believe in that. And once you are in the right place, things just happen. And energy
Fall into place.
yeah, I believe in energy and universe and physics, and things are happening. Whereas before there was no COVID, and it was very hard for us to raise money or go through that process, because we were not ready. Now we are, and it comes easier than before. So
Absolutely. Yeah. No, and as you say, you connect more with people and you get to resolve things that were maybe even harder to resolve before.
Yeah.
Regarding what comes after, what do you see? What do you think the world needs after this? What is your vision on this?
Oh, it's a tough question, and it's a good question. Probably no one knows what's the right answer, but we are all guessing, and reading all this new research that is coming out every day. It's not going to be as before. It will be tougher, but maybe better. Again, I'm optimist, and I'm a believer in there is always something good that comes out from the bad. So in terms of economy, we know that that's going to suffer for a while. In terms of young businesses and startups who have the really great ideas, I think they will propel if they have the right team to drive them through the difficult situations. In terms of mental health, and especially now we are in a mental health week awareness, which obviously for many people this time is very hard to accept, especially for extroverts. Introverts, yeah, kind of okay, I'm okay on my own and I can interact when I need, but actually I can do things. But for extroverts it's very tough, because you get energy from other people and suddenly you're all on your own and you don't know what to do. So and I'm reading a lot about that as well. There are lots of people with problems in terms of mental health, and those lines at NHS for practitioners, mental health practitioners are really very hot now. Number of people are also committing suicide. So there are all these things that people don't really speak about. But for us as a business, I think post-pandemic will keep lots of people still on work from home basis. So businesses will downsize on office space, especially for different reasons. One is suddenly, you know, and finally, many businesses with the traditional mindsets actually see benefits of having people working from home. Suddenly they can trust them. So suddenly they can see people are also maybe more productive. So all of this actually brings this new wave of work from home on a larger scale, which for privately for person who or individual who works from home is better in many ways, because they don't spend time, or we don't spend time in you know, traveling from home to work. Sometimes people spend 2 to 3 hours in travel, so that's huge. If you think what you can do in those 2 and 3 hours, it's amazing. Then you can, you know, you have time with your family. I mean, people with children will go through tougher period because of homeschooling until schools open. But overall, I think that once we adjust to this work from home, it's going to bring lots of benefits to people. Downside of it is people are going to sit a lot, and are sitting a lot in uncomfortable positions, because homes are not ergonomically equipped for long hours sitting or standing, or so either companies will have to invest in this part and support their employees in work from home environments, or employees have to do themselves, or innovate, or do something. So this is something to really think about, how to help people not to fall into that problem of, again, back spasm because of excessive sitting, sleep deprivation, because we spend so much time on this nowadays, much more time than before. Because what else can we do? Let's just stare at the screen a little bit more. And then mental health is, again, an issue. So, yeah.
Well, you just talk about how companies should be more preoccupied about their employees' well-being, mental health, and everything. Do you see actually companies changing their practices and their way of working and relationship with their customers and clients? And do you think also that company leaders will care more about the well-being of their employees than before?
It's inevitable. And I spoke with few very dear friends who are owners of big corporations and or companies. And some of them, one of them had traditional mindset in terms of before, let's say, a year ago or year and a half ago, when we spoke about work from home. And but that's not only that person. There are many others who think the same. We believe in open, you know, floor structure, and open culture, and having people working together and coming to the office. We don't believe in flexible working hours. We don't believe in Friday from home and whatever. And I was just looking there, and I said, okay, so do you think that, you know, when people are sitting in your office in front of your eyes, that they are 100% working for you, all 8 hours or 9 hours or whatever? You know, just think about yourself, what also you do yourself. You have your phone, you can spend some time on whatever, Facebook, Instagram, whatever you do, chat with friends, whatever. So, you know, it's life. You cannot control people in that way, because it's not healthy. You will not get good results. You need to give people trust. You need to empower people to do things in their own way. But you have to set deadlines. You have to set a level of quality that you expect in return, and you need to trust them. Now, where they're going to do that work, where from? Is it Bahamas or Philippines or Alps or their home or shed? Who cares, right? So the result is important.
Yeah, the result.
And now, yeah, sorry, this is not about they're not good and they're only doing if you're controlling them. No, it's actually a problem with you as internal a culture. So you need to change that. Now I think lots of people are seeing that actually this can be done, and they're getting the same results, maybe even better. So
I completely agree, and I think we're going to see a huge shift in that matter when we get out of this. And regarding more specifically brands and the relationship with customers, do you think the experience and the relationship with them is going to change?
Yeah, it's changing a lot. I think that it's all about being real, being transparent as a brand, being doing what you're saying, not just saying and then do nothing. Really hear what your customers are suffering from, what pain they're going through. Why are you bringing value to them as a brand? So why are you important in their life? So this is so important. And now more than ever, we have a chance to clear the clutter out and stick with what's real, what's transparent, what's good, and bring these two together. Because what's brand? People behind the brand. So, what is company? People who are in the company.
Of course.
So just a name, logo, it's not the brand. Product itself is not the brand. You know what I mean? So it's all together around that name and that brand. So that's why customers are relating to people again. So we have to go back to that humanity level.
Absolutely.
And think about that first.
Yeah, absolutely. It's changing the perspective a bit on that. And we have a digital transformation that's been going already before this, but now that's been maybe intensified because of the situation. How do you see this affecting the way the world works?
I think it's we are blessed to have digital right now in this pandemic time, but there are both sides. There is always coin with two sides. So it's important that we don't overdo it, because we get sensory overload all the time now when we are indoors more, or in one place more. We don't have to be indoors, we can be in our garden, but in one place without spending time commuting or traveling, etc. We can actually fall into that trap, spending more time, as I said earlier, with our screens, and that can really be bad for our well-being. And this is not something that we should do. So we have to have reminders sometimes to stop and pause and reset. Let's just reset for a few minutes. Let's just forget about everything. World will be still the same place 10 minutes later, but I may change in these 10 minutes. Let's just do some breathing exercise. Let's just do some meditation, or just, stare in the sky without really thinking about work or anything like that. So yeah, both sides, good and bad.
Absolutely. Well, Mirjana, thank you so much for joining us, for sharing your vision with us. And as always, it's been a pleasure to talk with you.
Pleasure, Lucas. And you guys are doing some amazing stuff as well. I'm so excited to follow what Cocoon is doing. So looking forward to see what's coming new from you guys.
Absolutely. And we'll be waiting for you too.
Yeah. Thank you very much. You too.